Welcome back to the Aether Universe Podcast. We are your hosts, Allie, and this is AJ. And on this week's episode, we'll be delving into what exactly are Kaitrons. And we'll be right back after this intro.
Welcome back to the Aether Universe Podcast. My name is AJ, and here is
Allie.
And we are Allie and AJ. Welcome back to the Aether Universe Podcast, where everything Aether is on the table. Today, we are here to talk about something that has been referenced in the Aether Universe, but nobody has really talked about what it is, why it is, who it is,
discovered it,
what happened, what's this new word. Anyway, we are here to talk about Kaitrons. And what are Kaitrons? So just for analytical purposes, this word Kaitrons, K-A-I-T-R-O-N-S, is pronounced Kaitrons, not Kaitrons, not ketons.
Not croutons.
Nobody has called it croutons, but it's pronounced Kaitrons. So that there's, we're going to start there for one thing. But Kaitrons is literally just the measurement of energy. It's the measurement of life energy. And there's a lot of life energy to be had in the Aether Universe, and there are different organizations that measure it different, but for the most part, the corporations that have gone into studying this phenomenon of measuring life energy, they can go as deep as to tell how much life energy somebody has, how much is being generated per cycle, which with whatever it means, hours, days, or whatever the case is, and they can also tell when somebody's about to die based on this life energy
And how it dwindles over time, or
just the regeneration of it.
Oh, okay.
So like life energy is always being exhausted. Energy is always being exhausted, but at the same rate that your body exhausts the energy, your body recreates it as well. So the measurement of Kaitrons is the measurement of how much of that energy that your body actually creates and how fast it creates it.
Oh, okay.
On a scientific level, that's what Kaitrons is in the Aether Universe.
So somebody with a lower Kaitron level will regenerate and expend less energy.
Right.
But somebody with higher Kaitron amounts will be pretty much unkillable.
Not necessarily unkillable, because you have people with high Kaitron ratings, like Carolina, for instance. Carolina she's bulletproof. But somebody like Phoenix, Melanie Banneker, she's not. But their Kaitron levels, because both of them are, Carolina is pretty much a deity, but Melanie she's not. She's just a caster. She has high Kaitrons, but she can be shot. So so
her powers just go into something else, or
but they're both significantly stronger than the average human.
Okay. So with Melanie and Carolina having the same Kaitron level, approximately,
they don't.
They just like
they don't have
the
same Kaitron level. They just I use those two as examples because I don't want people to think that just because they're like the same size of just in general or something like that they have the same level of power, because they're both powerful. Like they both can lift a car. Like Phoenix can come down from the sky, lift a car and throw it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that she has the same Kaitron level as Carolina, who can destroy a planet if she wanted to. And somebody can be weak not necessarily be able to lift a car, but just the energy that they give off because of the power that they use and the abilities that they have, they can still have high Kaitrons, but they're not physically strong enough to lift something. It's just the energy that they have and what it goes to, if that makes any sense.
That's odd. Like, is there, like, do they have any use if they have high Kaitrons, but they can't really do much?
So, like, think about Milo. Milo isn't, like, super strong. He doesn't have, like, super strength.
He causes explosions, though.
But he hit, like, with, like, physical mass. Like, he's muscular because, you know, of who he is. But as far as, like, physical power, he doesn't have the strength. Special power, on the other hand, like, what he can do with his flames, that's a different story.
Okay.
Like, he can't physically fly. Opposed to somebody like Melanie. Melanie also can't physically fly. She uses I can't necessarily spoil that either, but you know, there's something that happens.
She uses a assistant.
There's something that happens in Aryan Fallout that, you know, it's like a little funny little blip in the story that kind of happens that kind of transfers into Melanie's adult life and what she's able to do with her powers. So we'll get into that at another time. But Carolina, she can fly, like physically, like she can just literally use her Kaitrons to fly. And Kaitron manipulation works different for every single person. It just all depends on their physiology. And Milo doesn't have the physiology that allows him to just use his Kaitrons to fly, but his Kaitron manipulation allows him to be able to see other people's Kaitrons, and his Kaitron manipulation allows him to be able to bend his fire whenever he uses it. So his fire he can shoot a blast of flames and can literally make a 90-degree turn just because he made it do so. But he can also ignite his fists, point them down, send them flying in the sky.
All right, so they're not useless.
Yeah, no, it's not like it's not like, so like one of the things that Dragon Ball Z used to piss me off about is like everybody had the same power, everybody had the same energy, everybody had the same this, that, whatever the case was. Only thing different was, you know, their levels. But in the Aether Universe, it's based on more science. So like when you say somebody has a million Kaitron units,
yeah,
like two people can have a million Kaitron units, but it's going to different things.
Yeah.
Like one person could be like Big Ben from goddamn, he hasn't even been revealed yet. But Big Ben is one of the characters from Book 4. He makes a small appearance in Book 4, and he's also one of the characters in the Arcane and Prophecy free book. And his power, the only power he has is strength. But he's as strong as Milo. But all he has is strength.
Right.
Like he doesn't do the blasting. He doesn't fly. All he has is strength. So yeah.
That makes sense. So who's like an equivalent of him? Like is Milo an equivalent of him, but just has different?
So Milo is a primal flame, so I'm not really sure. That might have been a bad example because he is the primal flame, so he's a little bit stronger than most. But like in equivalent to Big Ben, you have characters like let's see who's been. Well, I mean, not it hasn't been really many heroes or like people with powers that show up in the Arcane and Calamity series so far. But like just based off of who we know, like Big Ben is kind of equivalent to like maybe like a average Olympian.
Okay.
In a sense, because Olympians they tend to be a little stronger than average humans. And just to kind of put a number to that, like the Kaitrons are measured in 5 different categories. So you have your first level, which is the mortal level. That's 0 Kaitrons, which means that, you know, everybody hits 0 when they're dead. So like, so you have 0 Kaitrons to 10,000 Kaitron units, which is your mortal level. And you have your supernatural level that falls between 10,001 Kaitron units to 100,000 Kaitron units.
I thought it said 20.
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
So that's your supernatural level. So that's where most people in the Arcane and Calamity series are going to fall in line in. And then you have where Milo is, where he's at the Omega level, which is 100,001 to 1 million Kaitron units. Your Alpha level, which is where you will find Carolina, would be 1 million and 1 to 50 million. And then deity level, which would be 50 million plus.
Oh, wow.
And it's not a lot of character. Well, actually, it's more characters than I would like that's sitting in the deity level, which is why I made the decision to like kind of leave them into like their own thing and just kind of like separate from the deity level people, because like you talk about people like Superman, who has all the power in the world and he's fucking boring because he ain't got no challenges. Like, it's like he has.
There's a couple.
I mean, with the whole Lois and Superman and Lois thing, they kind of added a little more complexity to him as a human being, or like they made him relatable in a sense, because you know he's dealing with real world shit. But like for the most part, like he's a god. Like nothing can touch him. He's bulletproof. He's unstoppable. He's fucking allergic to rocks apparently.
Certain rock.
You just one, you know, just allergic to it, just and it takes away his whole power. At night he you know, kind of he's a little weaker, but you know, because the sun, I don't know, it's just weird stuff. Like, but in the Aether Universe, it's like certain characters, like, what was I about to say? In the Aether Universe, certain characters have the ability to raise their Kaitron levels, but like, actually, I was going somewhere that I really didn't flesh out. I don't even know what I was saying. Ask me another question.
Who discovered Kaitrons?
Actually, let's pause or bring it back like we're coming back from a transition, because I'm gonna have to cut that last piece out. So, ask that question again, but like,
I don't remember what you said
little more
before the
energy.
part that you were.
Just ask the same question with a little more energy.
So, who discovered Kaitrons?
There we go. So Kaitrons was discovered by it was a little bit of a mixture between Tori and Kane and the Blackout Alliance in conjunction with Primotech. And Primotech, if you guys remember, is the company that Jacob Maxwell inherited from his father. And we kind of discussed that a little bit in the Gem State Siege. But right before like the events of the Gem State Siege, when the first caster had that incident in Massachusetts, it was they went to find out where this energy was coming from. But as they found out where this energy was coming from, this Kaitron energy, there was just a measurement of energy. Like, it was just energy that was just radiating in the atmosphere. Nobody knew where it was coming from. Nobody knew how to explain it. They hadn't seen it before, or they thought they hadn't seen it before. It just so happens that it was thousands of years prior to this happening that this energy was present, or an abundance of this energy was present, because anybody up before that point, anybody with high levels of Kaitron lived in Olympus. There was no people of high power in the mid-worlds. Right. And that was by design. The Aether needed it to be that way in order for the universe to stay balanced. So that's also part of where the conflict came in at, of the Aether Universe, or the Arcane and Calamity. So when they found out, or when they discussed that situation, Tori and Kane and Jacob Maxwell came together and was like, we need to figure out where this is coming from. So the Blackout Alliance decided to come up with a a chartered plan to find this and isolate this energy and figure out what it is. And Primal Tech backed it.
Mm-hmm.
So they got together with the government of the United States to figure out what was going on, and they isolated the energy down to a temple or a hidden temple that was in in India or something. And that's where they found the pyro stone and the tetrasphere.
Mm-hmm.
So when they found those energies, they started measuring those, and they started figuring out that, well, now that we have these and people are coming in contact with it, it's waking up something in people. And now we all of a sudden have some people who's like their energy is out the roof. Like we're starting to create the same type of situation that we seen with the guy from Massachusetts who was the first caster. Now we're starting to see that energy. So they started to isolate it, and they discovered that they can create devices that could measure the energy,
the exact amount that each one has.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that makes sense. So was Jacob Maxwell's father part of the group that was with the Blackout Alliance then? Because wouldn't his father's company have known about this all first, considering he built a company around it?
No, he didn't build a company around it. It was just a tech company. It was just a tech company that made like microchips and like other technology like that. It wasn't really like something like out of the ordinary.
It's not like biotech.
Yeah, like it wasn't biotech until Jacob Maxwell came through. Until
Gotcha.
his son came in and started trying to add new ideas and innovate new stuff. And he was just this bratty kid with money. So he was like, well, if this can make me richer, I'm going there. So when he found when they found the temple, and he started seeing all of the things that could come from harnessing this energy, then he was just like, all right, well, we can make bioweapons out of this, like, and we can make a lot more money off of this. So let me get that red one there. You take this green one. We go our separate ways. I'll let you know what I find. And that's how the incident happened in Idaho.
Oh, okay.
So it happened shortly after that.
Oh.
Well, about maybe a year or two after.
I cracked the case. Just kidding.
So yeah, that's a rundown of Kaitrons, man. I hope
a lot of information in there.
Yeah. It gets deeper. It gets a lot deeper, especially after when they started when the ambidextrine situation starts happening. That's when things get a little tricky when it comes to Kaitrons. There is a Kaitron, active Kaitron ranking of all of the 300 plus characters that's in the Aether Universe, and I'm loving it because it gives me a chance to show like perspective, like who's the strongest and what order they fall in, and it's excuse me, and it's giving me the ability to see exactly like if there was a fight, like where would these people fall in at? And I'm very pleased to know. I'm very pleased to see that like see some tangibility to some of the things that's happening in the
Sure would have been
universe.
awesome if we would have had a way to, what was his name? From Black Panther.
Oh, Namor?
Yeah, if we had an ability to figure out exactly how many Kaitrons his levels were. So that we could actually have a definitive answer of who would be stronger.
Well, see, but that's the thing though. Like just because somebody has more Kaitrons doesn't mean that they will win in the fight.
No, but that's true.
It's just a matter of effectiveness and what are you able to do with your Kaitrons that make you different. Because like I said, like Namor may be stronger than Carolina, but there's
she also
ways.
has the ability to.
She has ways
outsmart him.
Right. And after we seen the movie, we definitely know that he.
Yeah.
It's like the wings, the fucking wings on his ankles, like. What?
Yeah. No.
All you got to do is knock one of them off, and we good. Like, just water strike, just gone. Whole ankle go. Oh man, like you bulletproof, but your wings not. Like how that work?
Dogs are more sensitive.
You ate with little chicken wings.
Shut up.
I swear, that's what she was holding when they was showing that one scene when she had it in her hand. It's just a little chicken wing. Like, it took it right out the chicken. Made sure to...
Anyway.
Oh, man. All right.
And on that note,
we are going to go ahead and end this episode of the Aether Universe Podcast. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit that bell for notifications. We record this podcast every single week. Or we release it every single week. We don't record it every single week. As you can see, you guys can notice that I've been wearing the same shirt for like the last 3 episodes because we batched them. I have no shame in saying that I spent 3 or 4 hours in front of the camera and in front of this microphone just to give you guys content. I have no shame in saying that. I'm working on some other stuff right now. So if you're watching this, I'm already recording the next episode. So it's all good. It's all good. I'm making sure I do everything possible to give you guys content, and that's what I'm going to keep doing for the foreseeable future. Whether it's this podcast, or whether it's books, or whether it's comic books, or whether it's TV and movies and etc. Like, we are going to make sure that you guys continue to get content because the Aether Universe, we know what we have our hands on over here. So with that being said, make sure that you got your hands on the book that started it all, the Gem Stay Siege. The first book of the Arcane and Calamity series. Other books are coming very, very soon. I wish I knew exactly what date. If I think I know, I think, like, just thinking about like the future, when this episode releases, I'm thinking we're somewhere in January, I believe. That means that if I'm not mistaken, the next week, by the time you listen to this episode, if I'm not mistaken, the book for the Arcane and Prophecy is out.
It might be the week after.
I think it's next week. After they listen to this one. This week, this right now. They listen.
I don't know.
I don't know. It is what it is. January 17th, the Arcane and Prophecy release. Tuesday, January 17th, the Arcane and Prophecy release. Do I need to say it again? Tuesday, January 17th, 2023, the Arcane and Prophecy is out. So if you want to see ain't no if in there. You want to see the things that's going to get you involved into the Arcane and Calamity series and the Arcane and Prophecy itself. You want to know what's going on with the Aether Universe and what pivotal situations are happening as a result of the stories that took place in the Arcane and Calamity series. Make sure you get the Arcane and Prophecy. That book releases on January the 17th, and it's free. I wrote a whole book for you for free. Share that thing. Get your friends involved. Make sure everybody sees it. I want everybody to get their hands on the Arcane and Prophecy because it is a worthwhile story that's going to get you into the best book series that you have ever read in your entire life. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and end this. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Aether Universe Podcast. My name is AJ. Here with me, as always, is
Allie.
And always remember that there is no life without balance. Be balanced. Peace. Love you guys. See you on the next one.
For more information on AJ McMullen and the Aether Universe, please visit ajmcmullen.com.